deliver a message to the collective on behalf of the divine, whatever the divine is to you. And this particular message covers the topic of channeling. And this is what the divine wanted to tell you guys about the messages that I've been receiving and the videos that I've been doing. What I do is special now, but the goal is to get it to be possible for everyone. Truth should be accessible for everyone. Being able to access that truth should be accessible for everyone. Learning to attune to the best truth for the version of you that it's most applicable to at the time is a skill everyone should have. Think of it as a sufficient life skill. But it's being suppressed because there are energies that seek to deceive and repress your inner light. A shadow, a misconception, cannot live in the light or its truth. So they know their reality will shift when enough people are channeling in their true light. This is why authenticity is so important. Everyone needs to realize that it's in their highest good to seek out their most optimal version of themselves. It's okay to not know what that looks like, because just by seeking, you are initiating it and attracting the energy required to complete that change. That's why it's important to hold on to that vision and feeling of what the highest change will look and feel like, because then that energy will find you and you don't have to find it. Working for change is misalignment, and the hugest misconception is also an ideology that was built and formed to oppress the creative mind by creating a false sense of discouragement, which ultimately oppresses and stalls the creative process. Channeling is ultimately just living in the flow of the creative process. And when we channel, we are not talking to people or gods or entities. We are talking to energy at different magnitudes. Sometimes we are talking or working with energies that are imagined at such a frequency and to such multitude that they become an energy form. But there are many energy forms. This shouldn't be special to you. In the creative world, this isn't special and shouldn't be worshipped because it limits the creative process. The energy we work with to achieve a certain goal should always be adaptable. It should change and suit the current goal and outcome we are seeking for our creative vision at the time. That isn't to say you shouldn't work with energy forms. It's to say you should be discerning and not limit yourself to just one. Any energy that wants you to limit yourself is probably not in alignment. You should always be in a state of free-flowing energy. So, how you work with energies should be adaptable. This is why we never have the same spiritual teacher for a prolonged amount of time in your lives. Because who we need to become is ever shifting and ever changing. And the energy we work with and draw in should reflect that. This is why energy like religion is counterproductive to collective consciousness. Religion is divisive and oppressive. It limits the creative freedom of the self. Freedom to express our love and devotion shouldn't be limited to one idea, because we aren't at our essence one idea. Divinity serves its purpose in expressing the multitude of energy bodies. Like words, humanity reflects the multitude, but ultimately we are all a part of it. So to exalt anything above the self can be stunting. I will elaborate on what I mean by the self. I don't mean the ego, the human created self. The conscious created self is the truth. The self of the creative experience. The highest version of the self we can achieve is the creative expression. This is what we mean by the self. Divinity is just the unity of many expressions into one thought form of the self, which is limiting. There is many in the self. The divine is collective. So worship not the divine, worship nothing. This isn't the greater purpose. Instead, express the creative self, which is the divine. The divine is the many versions of you celebrating itself. We are all creatives, and this is what we know to be true. Worship nothing. Worship nothing and celebrate everything. Because life is meant to be celebrated. Worship traps you. It keeps you in a limited perspective. Whereas celebration, it brings us together. It has us join together and understand each other and feel each other's energy. So when we're worshiping, we're focusing on one energy, one ideology. Whereas celebration, it brings lightness, it brings energy to everything around it. It's contagious in a positive way. So that's what the divine means when it says worship nothing and celebrate everything. It's not telling you not to have a God, and it's not telling you not to believe in anything. But it just doesn't want, when people have you doing it in a way that idolizes religion, that's when it becomes an issue, because it becomes a divisive tool. So I just wanted to elaborate on that.